think that the coloration that is being given to some of these issues is not very, very fair. IPOD is an organization that is committed to the destruction of Nigeria. There's no argument about that. That's what IPOB is. And we should relate to that as an organization. It has members, it has people. They are the ones who are responsible for the arson and murder and mayhem in Oyibo area of Rivers State. But when you don't deal with them as an organization, sometimes when people talk, they talk about the Igbos. It's not an Igbo problem and it's not an Igbo situation. There is an organization that is clearly terrorist in orientation, that is determined to pull the Federal Republic of Nigeria apart, just like Boko Haram. So I think that effective measures need to be taken to rein in these people. And the response in Oyibo by the security agencies, as far as I know, there have been a lot of allegations and counter-allegations. And I believe that there are various inquiries that are going on into the situations that occurred during that period. And I believe that such an inquiry will help to unmask some of the things that happened. But I personally know of a police officer. In fact, one of the officers that was posted to me that has now been withdrawn, he lived in that area. His entire house and everything was burnt. His neighbor was burnt alive because he's a policeman. So when people behave with that kind of terrorists and murderous kind of intent, there is every need to react to that in a manner that is able to curtail and contain those particular excesses. But anything outside of that will be intolerable.
IPOB, an organization committed to the destruction of Nigerian senator. Senator Magnus Abe has weighed in on the Oyibo crisis, which rocked Rivers State a few weeks ago. The Rivers-born politician who spoke in an interview on Arise News stated that Indigenous People of Biafra IPOB is an organization committed to destruction. He stressed that it should be related to as an organization and not as an Igbo problem. Abe maintained that IPOB is an organization with a, quote, terrorist orientation of pulling the Federal Republic of Nigeria apart just like Boko Haram. He also revealed that inquiries are currently ongoing to unmask the real situation in the Rivers community. Abe further disclosed that a policeman who was formerly attached to a security team was attacked during the crisis simply because he's a police officer. He added that while the policeman's house was burnt, his neighbor was burnt alive. Wow. I really don't understand the attack again. I mean, it's not news. Igbos are literally I would say one of the marginalized groups in Nigeria. I mean, I really do feel that these people do have power, not gonna lie. I don't feel like they've done anything to threaten Nigeria. The fact is they want to leave. They have taken up a new identity and they want to go. And this first comment really just sums it all up in one, saying, if you think Igbos want to destroy Nigeria, then let them go. That is it. That is the actual fact. And I feel like this set of the Biafrans, I mean, they're very, very confident. They are very persistent in terms of no matter what happens to them or the attacks allegedly by the government on them, they still come back out in their numbers. And of course with the leader Nnamdi Kanu, who is very, very vocal, and if you meet any Biafran, they know their history. They are fully versed in who they are, their identity. They understand the concept or the how basically Nigeria was made and how they were individually and how they were brought together. They understand their place before Nigeria's birth and after Nigeria's birth, and of course they understand that and they want to leave, and of course they know their history and they're exposing these people. And what I feel like what is really happening now is that they know their history and they're speaking facts, and I feel like that brings up about intimidation because they're so united. And of course for government officials, they don't want that. They understand the power of people being united, and so they try to bring in division, and that's what they're using, and that's what they can't use. Actually, they can't use that manipulative technique of trying to divide Biafrans, and that is why they've not been able to deconstruct or literally break down Biafrans into fragments because they are so strong and they are so united, and I feel like that's the only thing that they have. And I feel like we should also need to learn from that and actually, voice our opinion and be together. We need to understand that this government has studied us for so long because there has not been a huge revolt. So they keep making decisions, they keep making, new things. They use manipulative techniques like gaslighting the public into thinking what is not. And they've studied us for so long. They knew that for a long time they could just make a decision, and the most that would happen is that people would just talk about it, and there would be a conversation and it would die down, and another news would take up their time. So they knew, they've studied the Nigerian public well. They know the tactics to play, and the fact is that they try to use manipulative techniques like putting in tribalism and all that. I feel like we need to be focused and not be selfish. I feel like, yes, Nigerians can be very selfish in terms of thinking about their own selves and not really thinking that, because in their little corner, because they're comfortable, they don't really think about the grand scheme of things and how things are actually going wrong for their own neighbors. So I feel like, again, because if we are selfish, we can never ever be united together, and that is how the government will keep playing pranks on us. But I feel like, yes, it's because the government officials have not found a way to infiltrate through Biafra. They're so frustrated that they keep attacking them every single time, and it's highly embarrassing. Well, somebody says that, so now you know that we will do what we said, that we will destroy Nigeria and name Nigeria, the Nigerian name, not to exist anymore. I feel like the fact is, as much as we want to take the identity as Nigerians, we are not Nigerians, if you're actually going to think about it. I feel like Biafrans know their roots. And I feel like that's the main thing, and they go by Biafrans and not Nigerians. Even though, yes, we're part of Nigeria, they understand how, it was brought about. And I feel like when the government is literally threatened, because imagine if every big ethnic group understands their roots, they understand what they were before the name Nigeria came. Because, to be honest, Nigeria was basically a business deal for the British. So I feel like Biafrans know their roots before the amalgamation or Nigeria's birth, and so they understood why Nigeria was made, and so they basically know how BS the country is, to be honest. They know how fake it is. They know how being in Nigeria does not benefit them, because they know how it was made. It wasn't made for everyone to be united. No, it was a business deal. It literally was a business deal, and it was basically, it was part of the British colonial rule and helping the British. They know that Nigeria's existence was not for their benefit, but for the benefit of the British. So they understand the identity before the amalgamation. And I feel like that's the main fact that we need to understand. Imagine if every ethnic group in Nigeria starts to look in their history. What were we before Nigeria was just coined up in 1960, 1st of October, we got independence? That's absolute inadequate. I mean, obviously, a lot of kids don't know about the history of Nigeria. They're not Nigerian. Nigeria was coined by Lady Lugard. And who is she? Her husband was leading Nigeria at the time. And these are literally white people coming to Africa, basically taking out portions for themselves for their economic gain. And I feel like Biafrans know that, and they're threatened that if every tribe now knows their identity before amalgamation, then they would want to separate as well. And I feel like that's the main thing. But right now, it's not like as if being Nigerians is not a good thing, but Biafrans literally see through the crooks and the inadequacy of the Nigerian government, and they're vocal about it because they don't want to be part of it. And that it's as simple as that. So of course, when you're calling them a terrorist group, they're not a terrorist group. They give you terror because you know that you can't control them, and that is really the main thing that's going on here. That's why you are terrified. They're not giving terror to people around them. No. You are terrified. And why are you, and how do we know that you're terrified? Is because we can literally see the trends in which you try to divide this group, in how you try to, suppress this group. I mean, come on, let's even talk about the Biafran War. That is literally, and there was a whole war because of the existence of these people. They don't want to be part of you, and it's not a must. So if you call them a terrorist organization, then let them go. I mean, at the end of the day, they're not even. It's literally like a deflect tactic, because the real terrorists in the country, you're not dealing with them. For how many years you've been fighting them, but you haven't done anything. So I don't know where this man is getting all these ideas from, But just say that your government is threatened, because if every tribe decides to, be like the Igbos, then you know that there'll be trouble, because current Nigerians will know their roots. They will know that they were not just Nigerian for the benefit of themselves, but benefit of other parties who try to take them up. Put what you think about this in the comment section below, and do not forget to like and subscribe.